So next I want to talk about absolute value. Absolute value is the distance a number is away from 0. So if you draw a number line, it's the distance the given number is away from 0. So let's say like 3, the number 3. The number 3, the absolute value of 3 is 1, 2, 3. It's 3 away from 0. And the way we write this is the absolute value of 3. So I just said the absolute value of 3 is 3. It's the distance away from 0. So that distance I drew in red. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. Now what about negative 3? If I had a negative 3, what's the absolute value of that? The distance negative 3 is away from 0. So if I start at negative 3 and I move 1, 2, 3, that's 3. 3 away from 0. So my answer is 3. And this reads the absolute value of negative 3 equals 3. And let's say we were adding two numbers. You have the absolute value of negative 3 plus 2. Well, here we always have to do the absolute value first before we add. So I'm going to find the absolute value of negative 3, which we just said was 3. So I'm going to change this to 3 plus 2. And then you just add like usual. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Let's say we had, like in the review, negative 7, the absolute value of negative 7 minus the absolute value of negative 4. Well, here I'm going to rewrite this negative sign. Now I just have the negative sign in red, but the same thing. I got to take the absolute value first. So the absolute value of negative 7 is 7. And then I have a minus sign here. The absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4. So this ends up being 7 minus 4. And that is 3. Let me do one more. Let me do a negative number, like negative 8. Absolute value of negative 8 plus absolute value of, I'll do another negative 3. This is the same type of thing. You get that same plus, and you get the absolute value of negative 8 is, the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. And the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. So you have 8 plus 3. And that's 11. And that's pretty much absolute value.